Thank you very much. This is a very important question. As you know, the Cotonou Agreement ends next year, 2020. It has achieved a lot, but there are certain areas that I think need to be improved. One of them is in the area of the EDF, that is the European Development Fund, the resources that are committed for development within the ACP countries under the Cotonou Agreement. There is a slow level of disbursements. You know, it takes a long cycle for projects to be identified, for financing to be approved, and then for disbursement to take place. That is a major area that needs to be improved. We need to accelerate the project cycle, the financing cycle for projects under EDF funding. That is one aspect. Number two, as an economist, I think that Europe could do more in the area of private sector investments. We need more and more European companies coming to do business in Africa. But a lot of those companies complained that financing to come to Africa remains a major challenge. So we need to enhance private sector financing, not just public to public. That area also needs to be looked into. Thirdly, I think there's a lot of bureaucracy, both within the ACP and within Europe. We need to cut out the bureaucracy and move with speed in doing business with each other. And also, we need to also remove some of the remaining barriers to trade. There are still a lot of issues that need to be addressed. And therefore, these are some of the few areas I believe could be improved. We want a strong Europe and a prosperous Europe, because only a strong and prosperous Europe can be a good partner to Africa and the rest of the developing world. Well, by structural transformation, we mean movement away from extractive commodities and agriculture towards greater value-added industrialization. Now, we are beginning to see an element of structural transformation taking place in Africa, because in many of the countries where we had traditional exports from commodities, raw materials, there's now a commitment to more value added to some of these products. So we see that as a step in the direction of structural transformation. But I have to say we are not yet there. There is a potential to make something like over $1 trillion in additional income from manufacturing value added in Africa. But today it is only about 140 billion. So we can do more, and the possibilities are there. So we need to work at it. We need cooperation and support from Europe. We need our governments also to design effective policies that can ensure, that structural transformation does take place on the basis of sustainable development and on the basis of inclusive growth that is shared by everyone and not just by a few elites. Well, again, thank you so very much. A very important question. I suggest the following. Number one, we need Europe to have an industrial policy for Africa. Europe's policy tended to be just how to secure raw materials from Africa. I think that mindset is in the past. We need a new mindset where Europe acknowledges that Africa needs to industrialize. And we need a Europe that is a good partner in Africa's industrialization. We need support in certain very important areas. The quality of government, that is, governmental capacity, administrative capacity to initiate good industrial policies. Europe can help us there. Europe can also help in the area of scientific and technical cooperation. We need to invest in science. We need to invest in human capital. We need to invest in skills, because with all these, industrialization will not be possible. So we need Europe to partner with us to enhance human capital investments through educational cooperation, through knowledge sharing, and through assistance in scientific research and innovation. If we can do those, it will greatly help the process of industrialization in Africa. And of course, we need constructive approaches to further investing in Africa. We want Europe to invest in Africa, invest in the industrial sector, invest in value-added sectors. We believe that this is a win-win approach. These are some of the areas that I believe that Europe could help Africa in terms of industrialization.